doing the damn thing.
Hello and welcome and happy Labor Day weekend. Hi, Heather.
Hi, teams.
How are you?
Marvelous.
You know, Heather, when I'm kicking back around the campfire, s'mores, guitar, sometimes I forget about campfire safety. And here tonight, I think we're going to go over some campfire safety rules with James and Heather.
And Smokey the Bear.
What do you think about that, kids? So Heather and I are campers now. Listen.
We're not really campers.
Okay, so here's the deal. Let's get serious, Heather. What do you say? How did you like your
I loved it.
your trip? Now, what kind of trip was it?
We stayed at a resort.
Right.
We stayed at a very nice resort. We had our own cabin. We had a jacuzzi and a fire pit. We had multiple fire pits.
We did.
And we had these floor-to-ceiling windows and looked out into the woods and this whole Danish hygge environment, which I'm huge on.
There was a campfire, though. There was two.
There was two. Yeah.
There was two campfires.
Forgive me while I eat, because I'm starving.
Here's my question for all of you. What is glamping? Because
I'm not down for glamping.
in my experience, I'm not sure what it is, and I think it has to do. Where's my chat box?
Talking to ourselves again.
There it is. Upon my return to civilization, I'm having trouble with
I feel like we can't see each other. I feel like we keep doing this
technology.
Because we're hats.
Well, this is my new look, everyone.
Right?
I burned all of my hair off trying to start a campfire with gasoline, and this is how it's going to be from now on. This is it. Sober camping, James.
This is it.
It's Labor Day weekend. How are we all feeling? Because of Heather. Thank you, Heather, for motivating me. Heather's has done what few can gain traction on, including my own family. She has got me out of the house. Out of the house.
We needed a breakaway.
Thank you, Heather.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. We needed a break. I know I needed a break as I had transitioned away from working with COVID patients and to a non-COVID world, and we needed time to connect on a different level. I knew you were going to do that.
It was
I did
different.
Bring your sticker thing, but there we go. Like we like each other. It was nice. It was nice. We needed this time to kind of.
It was different. It was special.
It was very special. Yeah.
We got our teamwork on.
We did. We build campfires. People.
Boom, Julie Zanotti. Glamping means resort camping.
Yeah, but see, we had a house. We had a whole house. We had heated floors. Heated floors is not camp. We had heated floors and indoor fireplace.
Yeah, it was nice.
And a washer and dryer. We were not glamping by any stretch of the imagination.
That's what I picture when I picture glamping. You got Wi-Fi, you got a cabin.
This was not glamping. This was...
Glamping is for girls that don't like dirt, bugs, or outdoors.
Right, when you stay in a camper. Like, to me, like, if you stay in, like, a camper, that's glamping. Like, if at the end of the day somebody still has to suction out the poop from the poop tank...
That's glamping?
That's glamping. Like a fifth wheel or an RV. Like, if you're staying in an RV or a fifth wheel, when Winter's back there playing the bear.
Winnie liked glamping.
But if you have to stay in like a camper, like a fifth wheel or RV, that's glamping. If you're staying in a modern house that has heated floors, you're staying in a luxury resort. You're not staying. That's not glamping.
Right on.
That's not glamping.
I mean, we were in the woods. There was campfires involved, and we could go indoors where, you know, the bugs were not. What's glamping camping for you all?
Yeah, what do you consider glamping?
That's the topic tonight on the Silver James live stream.
Some people may consider what we did glamping. Some people may say if I don't have a private chef, that's glamping.
Yeah, I consider glamping everyone a flexible standard.
Yeah.
Glamping.
I'm not a millionaire, so
is a flexible standard. Hey Google, what is glamping?
According to Wikipedia, glamping is a portmanteau of glamorous and camping and describes a style of camping with amenities and, in some cases, resort-style services not usually associated with traditional camping.
like a KOA. Is a KOA glamping?
Google, hey Google, is KOA glamping?
On the website color.com, they say, Koa offers many different types of low-dye options depending on which location you choose, including tent sites, RV sites, camping cabins, deluxe cabins, glamping tents, and more.
A mosquito-free trip is glamping.
Oh, well, we did not have that because the first day I was eaten. Okay, so we discovered that James normally is the one who's eaten alive by mosquitoes until you introducing me to the environment. And then they eat me alive. You know the scene from Lilo and Stitch where the little alien is like, ooh, mosquitoes. They like me. They really like me. Yeah, that was me. That was me. That was me, head to toe, like.
Yeah, they'd be loving you. They usually love me, but these are backwoods mosquitoes.
And they like.
These
I have
are
West
mosquitoes
Nile.
where you can see like stripes on their body and their snorkel.
I think we were recording a video and I smacked myself in the face.
Then we went to
I killed a pterodactyl.
the Smoky Mountains Aquarium, I think it was called, right?
The Ripley's.
So Ripley's Smoky Mountains Aquarium.
And say it. Say the name of the place we were.
We had a turtle. Oh yeah, and we were in Gatlinburg.
Oh, yeah. So we got coffee mugs.
Gatlinburg.
He got a turtle, and I got the best one. I just wanted to let y'all be prepared for the amazingness that's about to appear. It's a narwhal. That's right. The unicorn of the sea. Unicorn of the sea. That's right. I love sea turtles, but the unicorn of the sea beats everything. 2 stars.
The scientific nomenclature is the
Narwhal.
gnarly Wahlberg of the sea.
I like that. Yeah.
The narwhal.
So.
Unicorn of the sea.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Okay, so we hit an aquarium. We spent 2 nights, right?
Mm-hmm.
2 nights in a. It was an awesome cabin. Heather got some behind the scenes footage.
I did.
So I got tier 3 footage coming at you for my tier 3 patrons. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I have 3 tiers on my Patreon, but she's got some backstage footage or behind the scenes footage.
James told me to bring a toy. He said bring toys with you.
I did.
Yeah, he said bring a toy. And I was like, oh buddy, I'm about to rock your socks off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to rock your socks off, mister. Just
And
wait till you see what toy I'm bringing.
Yeah, and she did.
And I did.
And 1 second here.
1 second, and we'll show you exactly what toy I brought.
So this is a gimbal, and I've never seen anything like it. It is exactly what I needed, apparently, for behind-the-scenes extra footage for you, the tier 3 patron. This thing is pretty awesome, and I don't even know how to use it yet. But we got some cool footage. It's like cinematography.
It's pretty.
Cinematography.
Yeah. So with my iPhone, I have put it on.
Let's do it with your iPhone.
Put it on 4K. Woo! You can't do it with the case. put it on 4K with 60 frames per second, and I have some legit looking stuff happening.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, all with the gimbal, so it's all stabilized. Took Mr. Man to the next level, and that I don't know if it's
So check this out. You just hold down this button like this.
I don't know if it's on the right setting.
Oh, well, it's complicated.
I'm thinking, it's gonna like flop like a dead fish.
This thing's awesome though.
But yeah, so whipped that daddy out and was like, oh, look at this toy I got. I went all nerdy on him. He was like, wasn't what I expected, but it's still kind of hot.
Yeah, it's super hot toy.
So yeah, so if you sign up for Patreon, you'll see the behind the scenes of our trip.
Oh yeah, I
not
gotta
all
post that.
behind
My
the
bad.
scenes of our trip.
What's up, Oceanside?
Some things are not going to be seen.
Yeah, thanks for understanding, everybody. For me, sometimes I like to cut off from technology for a couple days, but it's never more than that. And I'm happy to be back. To stay more connected, there's the link to see the behind the footage and all that, behind the scenes footage. But you know,
Full tour of where we were staying.
yeah, we did a
But
tour.
in case y'all want to
It
recreate,
was a nice.
in case
we
anybody
did-
wants to stay where we stayed, and
We got a
and
little of
recreate
the
it.
aquarium. She got some jellyfish.
I love jellyfish. So I told James I want like a full jellyfish tank. This magical jellyfish, just
What's
like
up, Ron K?
doing its little thing all day long. Just one jellyfish, not two, just one jellyfish,
Just one.
like in the corner.
Thanks, John. It's good to be back. Sean, hello. What's up, Oceanside? It's good to see you as well.
We came back. We had a nap.
Starlight's Smoky Mountains is Starlight's favorite place to visit.
Oh yay! We're
I've
planning.
never
on,
been. That was the first place that was the first
Yeah.
time I've been.
We're planning on going back in October, the end of October. I took some more time off.
Yeah, to have a real fire and a real jacuzzi session. They had a jacuzzi and
hot.
we're chilling. I'm hot-blooded.
It was so hot, like bugs are like attacking our face while we're trying to
And
like
this
relax.
one loves anything with water involved. So like,
Hence my hat.
it's time to get into the jacuzzi, and it's like, well, it is 80 degrees and there's mosquitoes all over the place.
Kerplunk.
But we got to do the fire and we got to do the jacuzzi. So like, I'm thinking October is gonna be lovely.
Yeah, October is gonna be. Where's that?
It's gonna be a lovely, lovely
The
trip.
end of October. They have a thing called
I don't think the autofocus is recognizing me in my hat.
right?
But I'm a hat man now, autofocus. So fuck off.
There's like a treetop canopy tour that we wanted to do, but we couldn't do. So we're gonna do that in October. Oh, babe, look at you.
What?
You didn't leave the hat off and you're still hot as hell.
Oh, thanks. Well, you know.
Me? No. Like my hair is a disaster. It still smells like
It's a lot of work being
chlorine
effortless,
and
you know.
campfire is what it smells like.
Nah, she was this girl's beautiful. In any light, firelight, the light of a house she's burning down, you know, whatever.
You can't tell everybody.
She looks so beautiful in her mugshot.
We connected on multiple levels, and now he's told my.
And the sex, my God, it was otherworldly.
And I'm red.
And we're here to tell you all about it in the following 30 minutes of this program. Make yourselves comfortable or uncomfortable. But we have a PowerPoint presentation.
We built campfires.
Look
So red right now.
Look at Sean.
Oh, God.
Chlorine and campfire, not bad. Yeah, it was all about the shower. I don't know about you guys, but I need a little glamp in my camp. I need a shower, especially if there's a jacuzzi. And, well, here's the deal. Here's the other deal. I'm glad to hear you got your shirt, Gina. That is all Susan. Susan told me she loved your video and wanted to get you a shirt. So I sent you her email if you want to. But
Thank you, Starlight.
I
appreciate that.
I love camping. You know, out in the wilderness when it's the wilderness. But if there's a shower in the place, you know, I'll be up in there.
And I tried to make sure when I was looking for a place for the two of us, we both like certain amenities. On Airbnb, it's like a lot of the homes in the Smoky Mountains are like staying inside of a tree's anus.
Yeah, they go a little crazy
They
with
is
the
all
with
wood.
the cabin theme.
All like.
Which I don't, it might be cool, but the
It's
one
fine,
we
but
saw was
it's
crazy.
It's overboard. It's like the bed's made of wood, and the walls are wood, the ceiling's wood, and wood. And so we like modern amenity. We like stylish environments. And
All I need is a mosquito-free, air-conditioned bed,
king
and
size.
I will just rep the outdoors every day, all day. As long as I have a mosquito-free environment to return to,
Yeah.
I'm good.
We learned a lot about each other.
We did.
We learned a lot about each other. We broke some barriers down. A lot of mine.
So I'm learning
Think
a lot
more.
about relationships
Yeah.
because it's like I'm a 14-year-old. You guys may have heard that if you drink for a certain amount of years, you don't progress emotionally because you drink over your emotions, so you don't learn and mature. Well, that's me, and I'm just now getting to learn about certain things about relationships. And one of the things I noticed when you go with a new relationship, when you go with a new partner to camping and problem-solving exercises, like starting a fire is pretty hard, especially with some green-ass wood.
Yeah.
But we teamed up on it, and what I didn't have, she had, and what I had, she didn't have. So, made a good team.
And he learned that when it comes to fire,
Yeah, Heather likes fire, but who doesn't? You know what I mean?
I get this look in my eyes. I'm like,
I might put that on the behind the scenes.
I get a little giddy when it comes to starting fires. I've always kind of been that way, and yeah, I get all fire, like a little wigged out by that. So what we learned, kind of the sum up of our relationship, is we build fires that withstand downpours. Because it did. We kind of had a really emotional night last night. We worked through some stuff.
Yeah, it started raining on the fire kept going.
Just like downpour, like this downpour, and this fire was just like. Y'all
And that
built
was
me
a
strong.
symbol of our steady burning relationship.
You almost said it, and I didn't wig
Well,
out.
I don't want to say it now.
I know, but I
because
didn't wig out.
I also told Heather,
I was okay
you know,
with
I
it.
don't appreciate it that when I make love jokes. I think people
Right.
react to the word love. I think it's funny. I think it's funny the way people react to the word love. So I made a joke, and it's on record.
And I gagged.
Of Heather gagging and scoffing at my love, even though it was a joke.
Right.
I would never love you. You gotta come with a little more if you want that love. That L word?
An L word.
No one could ever love you. No.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
But
kidding.
there was a moment. There was a moment when I went into a place to get some fudge. And
Pound.
pound of fudge.
A pound of fudge.
A pound of fudge. And this man was like, "Oh, how long have y'all been married?"
Yeah.
And I reacted.
Well, okay, now let me tell what. Okay, so
Okay.
she went in to get the fudge. I got a sweet ass coffee, just sugar and honey in a coffee, basically.
Called a dirty snowman.
Called a dirty snowman in my hand. So I'm like, sugar. My sugar fix is good, and we got bags upon bags. This is a shopper. I dig a day out, but like we got bags and bags, and she's going into this
I'm
store.
going ham.
I look up at it, it just says chocolate monkey ice cream. It looked like a candy store. So I'm
It
like,
was.
so I got to put on a tight ass mask to go in there. So I'm like, I'm gonna stay out here,
Yeah.
and she's
Okay.
like, you gave me a look. I don't know.
I did give him a look. I
And
was
then
like,
there was an older couple in between us, and I'm like, I'm gonna stay out here, and she gave me like this look, and I didn't understand the look, and I didn't feel like yelling the explanation for me staying out there. I don't want to put on my mask. I'm not really into all that sweet shit right now. There was a bit of confusion, and she went in anyway. The older couple, the guy turned around and goes, "Oh, looks like you're in trouble," and I'm like, I'm like, yeah, well, you know. And he goes, how long y'all been married? And I'm like, we just started dating. We're not married. And I'm like, and that's probably the reason right there. I get in trouble. I do stupid shit. I say, stupid shit, but whatever.
And then inside, I'm like, we're not married.
Yeah, because apparently this one is disgusted to the point of a physical gag reflex reaction.
And it's not that. So we were
about the thought of marrying sober James. Can you believe it?
So we worked through a lot of stuff last night.
I'm appalled.
Yeah.
I told her. I looked at her fire, cool blue eyes over the hot red fire, and I said, "Baby, you embarrassed me on that stream."
Yeah, we did. We were very emotional.
No, I mean it's not. I said, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, we were very open and honest with each other.
Yeah.
And there were some good barriers broken down on both of us.
Yeah.
And we woke up today and we kind of had both had emotional hangovers. We were just we just purged.
I know
It just broke down so many walls and so many barriers.
It was good, and I was free from. And then Heather picked up the slack because every once in a while I just go on a digital boycott, and I'm just like, I don't want to touch any digital stuff. And she helped me out by, saying hello to YouTube and saying hello to Patreon and saying hello to. So I just want to ask all the guys out there: have you ever had a mosquito bite on the tip of your penis?
Did that happen?
I mean, no, I'm asking for a friend, really, but.
It happened? Really?
I mean, to a friend of mine.
Named
He
Haynes?
may or may not have been standing proudly in the jacuzzi, silhouette of the light that the house cast upon the road.
In the full moon light?
With a full-on rager. This is my friend. My friend did this. And a mosquito may or may not have, because he was so distracted by the prowess of his stance, took advantage of some blood flow, if you know what I'm saying. I'm just asking for a friend.
Oh, the things we do. He played the guitar.
I bought a guitar.
He bought a guitar. He bought another guitar.
I bought a cheap throw around nylon string classical guitar.
Sang for me.
Just what I needed, and a souvenir from the trip. Also, went to the aquarium, which I don't really like. I thought I liked aquariums because, I love aquariums. Don't get me wrong, and I enjoyed the trip.
The Georgia aquarium, we love. This one was sad.
We both happen to love this one. All aquariums kind of have. The sharks have the tips of their noses are rubbed off and their fins and shit.
It was very sad
because they're just not meant to be captive.
Oh, hurt my heart.
It just hurts my. It is what it is, and it'll exist. But sometimes I swear, I just want to organize all of my patrons and viewers into an organization to free Willy.
It sounded like you freed Willie in the hot tub and got a mosquito bite.
I don't need y'all for that one.
A friend of yours did.
But to free a multi-ton, killer whale from SeaWorld, I'm gonna need you. We're gonna document every minute of it, every breathtaking minute. Anyway, my point is, every once in a while, every time I go to a zoo, I feel bad for certain animals.
I don't do zoos.
And these sharks and stuff. There was a turtle. He had a nap routine. Looked like he was probably out of his mind, pretty much. He was a senile
don't
turtle.
Project. Oh, don't make it. Oh, I love that
They
turtle.
pace
Don't
and
make
stuff.
it sad.
Like bears in captivity will pace, and they'll rub a tree trunk raw, and they'll. But anyway, so aquarium was, but it was awesome. It was fantastic.
That's the footage. It's great.
Oh, and then there was this on the way back, or was it on the way there?
No, so it
or
was.
No, it was on the way back from.
So it was on the way.
Gatlinburg.
I'll set the scene. It was on the way back. Something happened that kind of set the night for this whole emotional evening that we had. There was a misunderstanding between the two of us. There was some past trauma on my end. And when things happen, I get very quiet and I shut down. And I don't like to talk, and I just meh. And then he tries to fix and fill in gaps in conversations, and that makes me quiet, even more quiet. So we had this whole thing going on, and we had an hour and a half drive back. So an hour and a half drive of tension is just not fun for anybody. And everything had been going magical until this point. And then we're driving, and we get to Cherokee, North Carolina, and all of a sudden, cars are braking. The car in front of us swerves to the right, and you said something.
So we're going about 80 miles an hour, dark. Highway, regular amount of traffic. And out of nowhere, just like it happens, there's a giant elk in the headlights right off the shoulder. I'm in the left lane. It had to be 10 feet away from the car, but it seemed like 1 foot because it was right there in the headlights. This elk, which I've never seen before, had to be up to the tip of its antlers, had to be 8 feet tall.
Yeah,
it was as big as the truck. I was going about 80 miles an hour.
It was a large elk.
The next thing I noticed was over here, there was about 4 of them, and this car that was in another lane was coming over towards me. So this 8-foot elk, who was just standing, the proudest, majestic, most image I've ever seen in my life.
So
he
you have a bull.
Flinch.
Yeah, you have a bull elk on the left side,
Yeah.
and then you have like a herd on the right.
There was this whole bunch of elk, and there was 5 cars. This is a 2-lane highway, and I was behind 3 of them and nestled in between 3 of them, and the one and 2 and the that would be so there's 1 in back.
Yeah.
3. So I had 3 in front, and that's the kind of nestle formation that I was comfortable with.
Yeah.
Traffic-wise, so we were like that for about 15 minutes, just chilling in traffic. The whole shit went down. Big ass elk, he didn't flinch at all. I mean, he was probably just waiting for us to pass so he can get his rut on. And then all the females over here, and all these cars like swerving in and out of each other and shit. And then we make it through, and I was left with 1 car in front of me. I was the second car now, and there was 3 cars in back of me because the 5 got shuffled up. Everyone made it out without a scratch, and everyone and all the elks made it out too. But we went through them. We went through a crowd of elk, including an 8-foot tall like male buck rutting dude.
It was a large bull elk. I mean,
at 80 miles an hour, 5 cars.
Yeah.
And before you know it, I mean, that shook up the tension with what we were experiencing. I know that.
Yeah.
Because we were talking some serious shit. And then, it was getting to the point when couples talk, you get into that point where there's nothing more to say, but you don't really like how it is or whatever. Yeah. It's just complicated. And then before you know it, we're just like, holy fucking shit. Did you see that? That was incredible. That elk would have fucking totaled my entire truck and killed Heather. I mean, I'm pretty tough, but Heather would have caught an antler to the face.
This whole scenario, by the way, always ends with me dying. Every time he speaks, like, catastrophizes this situation, and you would have died, honey. You would have died, babe, you'd be dead. Like, you'd come through the windshield.
That thing was so fucking majestic, y'all. Yeah, I mean,
it was a very large bull elk. It was a very
and it was just
large
standing. We were just coming through 5 cars going 80 miles an hour on a 2-lane highway, and this thing was just like, it looked like a poster.
It was just like what?
It was. You could see the side of his body, and then he was turned. His front was turned.
Yeah. He had a really beautiful rack. We were talking. He was just like, "You think I'm gonna mess up my rack by getting in your way? You know how long it took me to grow
I mean, he looked cool and collected. He was just like, blada out, like he was just waiting to rut. That's all he was doing.
Can y'all go on so I can get my rut on?
Because if you think about it, a male that big has been crossing roads for fucking decades, or I don't know how long they get, or how long they live, but I mean, he wouldn't
It's a
be
large-
that big if he didn't know
yeah.
how to cross the road. So he was just like, will y'all hurry up, please? I mean, shit.
Honey's on that side of the road.
I mean,
I'm gonna get my food on. I'm gonna get rut on. I got some babies to make.
I'm trying to dough the damn thing over
I
here.
mean,
Trying to keep it rut. He's trying to keep it rut and dough the damn thing. I'm just trying to get rut. I can't get rut. Trying to cross this road. That was amazing. That was incredible. And then at the aquarium, my favorite was the cuttlefish and the turtle. Cuttlefish, if you don't know, are just squid. They're highly intelligent and they change colors. And we got some 4K footage of that. We'll probably put that on the extra content. If you want access to the extra content, check out this link on my Patreon. That's tier 3. I post it every month. I make slideshows and music for the streams and everything. For tier 3, there's some benefits, but here's that link right now.
so how's everybody doing this week? I know it's a long weekend, and that can be rough for some people. I learned when we were at dinner last night, James said, I don't get triggered often. I didn't know how to handle it, so I think I overreacted with this one too. He said I don't really.
No. We were
were
eating
at
crab
dinner.
legs, like we two do.
We eat some.
I mean,
American
that
crab
Low
legs.
Country Bowl, good God.
I was like,
The Low
me-
Country Bowl, I used to think it was too messy, or I didn't really care for the Cajun spices.
We're like,
This time, it caught me on the right. I was into it so hard that I was eating the potatoes with my finger. I was
We're
just
like-
biting them like they were fucking so good. And I figured out that the
why are we not hearing that?
I don't know. Did y'all just hear that? Can y'all hear music right now? The Low Country Bowl is a greasy, buttery, delicious mess.
Mm-hmm.
And
And I had crawfish, and let me tell you, I was in my element. I was ripping heads off, sucking heads, eating tails. It was
yeah, she was
Doing
sucking heads and eating crawdad ass.
sucking head and eating ass. This is what I was doing. You heard
I
it
mean,
here,
them
folks.
crawdads came on
You
and she
heard it
started
here.
just sucking head and eating ass right. I mean, just like
Right in front of everybody. Yep.
So I was just being a
They said they
virgin.
can hear
I was like
music.
being a virgin.
They
They
said
can? You
hear
can?
it. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. All right, so anyway, Heather is curious about alcoholism sometimes. Just she's a curious
I don't know-
psychological
I don't know what trigger-
sponge.
yeah, I
So
don't know what
she asks
triggers
me every
them.
once in a while, is that a trigger? Is this a trigger? Is that triggering you? And
Because we're walking down the road, and in my head, I overthink. We're walking down the road, and it's like moonshine and free tasters, man. And I don't know, like, what all is triggering. And so I kind of want to get into his head sometimes because I overanalyze things sometimes.
you're curious.
I
a lot of
am
people are curious.
I am.
People that realize alcoholism and addiction is a thing are curious about it because
I wanna
things
yeah.
are interesting.
Well,
so,
and we're in a relationship, and I want to understand you.
right.
And so,
So I'm gonna tell this one.
yeah, absolutely.
You like that? I just put it right in line, didn't I? Oh, by the way, everybody, watching myself and my new sweetheart Heather here on camera, I've never been able to watch a new relationship or a relationship at all on camera like I got to watch how we behave together on camera. And I get to watch these streams. Sometimes I'll watch these streams for sound quality and what am I doing right, what am I doing wrong. It's like quality control. Well, I learned by watching Heather and I on the stream, I learned what I'm doing wrong boyfriend-wise control. Quality boyfriend check. And I was just like, damn, am I a dick all the time? But actually, I seem like I'm a dick because I have a very eclectic sense of humor. But I'm like, yo, do I walk around like an asshole?
So when you picked up on it that time.
Yeah, well, I
get
had to
more
watch the
cognizant.
tape. So brothers out there
You get more cognizant of it.
and sisters,
He watched the stream.
watch yourselves
Yeah.
on a video with your couple if you want to know how you really are in her eyes or his eyes. So, anywho, anybody who has an alcoholic or an addict in their life knows that it's not just a choice. It's like it's a funky comedina that that is an actual thing. So they get curious and they'll be like, they start investigating. I've noticed this, and Heather's the same way. She likes psychology. She likes knowing about stuff, and she asked me, "Is this a trigger? Is that a trigger?" So we're eating crab legs, and I'll tell you one thing. This hat is fucked up. I'll tell you one thing about me. I'm 5 years into sobriety. I practice a good recovery program. I rarely get triggered, but when I do, I know how to handle it now. I used to not. Basically, I nip shit in the bud. So at dinner, we're eating our crab legs, we're having a great time. I noticed immediately I heard it, and for those of you who don't know yet, that is what Heather calls a hiccup.
It's my hiccups.
And so I think it's a conspiracy.
Not.
I think Heather's extremely creative goal in life is to seduce a man into loving her for all of her days, and then on his dying day be like, "Those are fake hiccups."
It is not true. But
'Cause
anyway.
I'm like, that's an imitation of a hiccup.
But anyway.
So I'm eating my crab legs, and out of the corner of my eye, all my senses sense a metal bucket with ice in it and 5 beers. Now I only saw 2 of the beer bottles, and I looked away because that's my instinct. That's my recovery instinct now. And I just say, "Hey, you always wonder what triggers me." Well, I'm in a high state of like pleasure and emotional safety and everything. And there's a metal bucket with ice and beer bottles, and it slams down. I see 2 of the beer bottles. I hear it. I see it. I feel it. I can almost taste it. And it triggered me, but I do what I do and nip it in the bud. And I said, "Heather, you always wonder. You're always asking it. You're curious about what a trigger is. That beer bucket is a trigger." And I said, "There's 5 beers in there." And then the guy who was blocking the view of the beer bucket kind of scooted over in his seat, and it revealed that there was 5 beers in there. So subconsciously, even though I didn't see 5 beers, I knew there was 5 beers. Your addiction is so cunning and baffling and powerful that it knows shit because it's your subconscious. But I said that's that, and Heather kind of like hit the alarm and fucking
I did.
started
I
signing.
didn't know what to do with it. I didn't know what to do with that information.
Right.
And so
I told her later
Okay,
that it
hold
was
on,
no
what's-
big deal.
what's happening? Delete what? What's going on? Sorry. We'll go back to that in a second. What just happened?
I don't know. I'll figure it out. Keep going.
So I didn't know what to do with that information because that's never happened with us before. So I was like, oh shit. Like, this is a trigger. I don't want him to be triggered. Nobody wants, like, I don't know how uncomfortable a trigger is. I don't know if it's like getting zapped in the balls. I don't know what it's like. Nah. So I'm like, well, I don't want anybody to be uncomfortable, especially when they're on vacation. I'll fix this. So he goes to wash his hands, and I just take care of everything. And then I'm like, okay, we'll just go, because where we were sitting, there was a glass window, and the people were sitting on the other side of the glass window outside. There was like a balcony seating, and they were sitting on the balcony. And so they were super close to us, but there was a glass window in between us, and I just didn't want. I didn't know, like I just didn't know what a trigger feels like. So I was just trying to fix this situation. And so he goes to the bathroom, and then I'm standing by the bathrooms whenever he gets out, so we could just leave. And I don't know if like I handled it wrong. I don't know if I handled it right. I just, yeah.
No, I let you know that I was just telling you because you were curious.
Yeah.
I handle triggers when they come, but as we go in sobriety and practice recovery over the years, triggers are less and less because the obsession and compulsion to drink has been relieved from us through our practice of recovery principles. So I know what to do in triggers like that. I was just saying, triggers still happen, and here's one in case you were curious.
Right.
And, you know,
And in
it
my
was
head, I was
sweet
like-
of you. It was sweet of you to get us out of there. But that's not what I meant. And I you know, I didn't mean let's get out of here. That's a trigger. I'm past that point. Now, in the beginning, I was like that. I couldn't even be in that restaurant. You know what I
Right.
mean?
And
In
so
the beginning of sobriety, we do what we can. In late sobriety, we do what we want, really.
And so these are, you know, I know the holiday weekends are typically drinking weekends. Like if you and I weren't together, I'd be on all honestly. I'd probably be on the lake with friends, like
Drunk.
drunk. So
Starting
like,
fires
starting fires, getting lit.
on boats. We're joking.
We're joking. But no, I mean, I would be drinking.
I
because
know a binge drinker a mile away. I could have saw that from a mile away.
I'm not a
We
binge
wouldn't-
drinker.
That's what I said. That you're not. So that's
Yeah.
why. That's why.
So, but yeah, I mean, I would be, and so I can imagine that, you know, long holidays where people are like, woo, use this as like a party, you know, atmosphere. It has to be difficult for people starting out in sobriety. I mean, not so much for you and me, because, you know, we're gonna do the responsible.
Yeah, you looked out for me, and I appreciate it. But I'll let you know.
You had your
If
shit
there's
on
an
lock.
alarm, if there's an alarm, I'll let you know. We gotta go. You gotta have an escape option. We know that. We talk about that on here. But in sobriety, I have 5 years of sobriety, and I've learned through my sponsor has 14, and his sponsor has like 30 years of sobriety. That's almost 100 years or whatever of sobriety that says always have an escape plan and always have a sober buddy. So Heather's my sober buddy. Your sober buddy can be your partner as long as they understand that it isn't a choice. When the alarm gets rung, if I have to leave, I have to leave. It's a behavioral disorder. It's a personality disorder. We don't have any control over our thoughts. We do have control over our cravings and our emotions because of cognitive behavioral advances and everything. But the pro tip, every recovering alcoholic always has an escape plan. If you got to drive yourself to a party, that's what you do, so you can run at any given time. Because when that booze comes a knocking, when that craving comes a knocking, you gotta run, don't walk. You know what I mean? Because this is a beast. Alcohol is a hell of a drug. Drugs are hell of a drugs.
I heard your back. Now I know what to do when you say, if you're curious. I don't have to like.
Tillman says I try to join your patron, but it keeps saying I'm already a patron, and I know that's not true. Yeah, Tillman. I mean, I consider you a patron of the saints and a scholar, but I don't think you're a patron. If you are, thanks. John Venturini just retracted a message. What was it? Our curiosity is.
It was something about Discord. A message on Discord.
Oh.
So what's everybody
So-
doing this weekend to stay sober?
To stay sane.
To stay sane?
What are we doing this weekend?
I don't know. What are we doing this weekend? So many options.
Sobriety, right?
So many things.
Yo, that I did get a lot of options when I got sober. Option number 1, I can drive. I mean, that's just a little perk.
just nomming on food over here.
I've had a license in cars and I can't drive. I used to drink every day. I can't drive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Perk number 1 of sobriety, you can drive your own vehicle.
Yes.
Options.
Oh, Sean, what kind of music? I mean, I know you're in music, but
On call, working on music, and then I'm on call. So your day job and your dream job.
I like
Not
it.
too bad.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, Sean's an excellent museum.
Sean, you're now a museum.
Sean's an excellent musician and a practicing one as well. He's making new shit. Check out Sean Leary Music on SeanLearyMusic.com. Or maybe just Sean Leary Music channel on YouTube channel.
He's a music museum now.
Yes. What else did we do? I felt like we did something else. Winnie came camping. She got a little glow light collar.
She did, because we kept losing her. Okay, she looks like the night. And she kept disappearing. I mean, she comes back, but like, she just wanders around, does her own thing.
Oh,
She stays close by, but...
Sean is a millennial Indiana Jones fan, apparently.
Oh.
I asked this one if she remembers the Indiana Jones part, blah, 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 and she's like, I was never really into those movies.
I was never into it.
And I was like, well, that's probably because you were never a little boy. All little boys are into
Yeah, I was never...
Indiana Jones.
I was never...
It belongs in a museum! See, I know that quote.
Oh.
It belongs in a museum.
I'm like,
That's more the indie. The young indie was like, it belongs in a museum. But the old indie is like, it belongs in a museum. Like gritty. Because that Harrison Ford, he'll tell you what belongs in a museum or not. One thing Harrison Ford can do, he can identify things that belong in museums as opposed to things that do not.
You're adorable.
I'm not sure how to take that, really.
It's adorable.
It's kind of like when people insult you, but then they say, hey, I'm just kidding, bud.
It's adorable.
You know what I mean?
It's like when you say the destructions.
Do you guys get that?
This is adorable.
It's kind of my pet peeve when people are like,
It's like
hey,
these
shut
little
up, you stupid drunk.
No, it's like these little Jameisms that make you
Hey, I'm just
uniquely
kidding,
him.
man.
It's like these little things that make you uniquely you.
Yes.
That I adore.
Well, that's why, I don't like attention.
You want me to ignore you?
Yes. I want to yearn for your attention. I want to fiend for it.
Okay, I'll ignore you.
I mean, now that you're doing it on purpose, it won't, it'll be ineffective.
I don't know if you're joking or if you're serious right now.
It belongs in a museum.
This is what I'm talking about. Sometimes I do not know if you're joking or if you're serious.
Hey.
Oh.
Maffy. How you doing, Maffy? Oh, well, thank you, John. Well, John, how are you doing, man? John is such a timeless romantic.
He is. He is.
Yearn, damn it.
You know who else is
Yearn.
Look at her. You hate Jews.
You ever seen Jews?
Winter is like right, like at the edge of the chair, just like, please give me cheese, mommy, please. Jeez. I'm so hungry. Yeah. So winter has so much fun. Just and we had a porch cat that we named Poppycock.
Poppycock the cat.
Poppycock the cat.
It was pretty cool. We had a good time out in the woods, Smokies, and what we weren't roughing it. We definitely weren't roughing it.
Not with those heated floors, we weren't. It was really loud. Right here.
I'm doing all right, Maffy. Good to hear you are the same.
Tillman said, he was like, Tillman, are you 4 or 6 days off of pills? Can't remember. I saw it a bit back.
Tillman, yeah, I noticed that too. It's good to hear you doing all right too, Tillman. Tillman joined us on a stream on an audio call. And, well, it's good to hear you're clean, Tillman.
And it sounded like everybody had a good Zoom meeting.
Yeah, Wednesday, I couldn't make the Zoom meeting. I was getting spotty reception. And I was taking a break, taking a break from all things, work related and grind related.
Once we got off the mountain, we had, once we got away from our area, we had no reception at all. So we'd have to try to figure out where we were going before we got to the vehicle.
Yeah, it was.
Because once we were there, we had nothing. So.
That's good, John. I heard about it.
I tried to keep them
and I'm glad. Jamie, Lyle. Excellent. Yeah, to get away, she claims there's no bugs in Montana. There's bugs here. There's bugs in the south. And there's bugs in the north. There's bugs on the east.
Not Montana. It's a magical, mystical place full of all the great things in the world.
Let's talk about this.
Okay.
Do you guys get in jacuzzis that other people have been in?
So, this one. Let's talk about the full range of James. So we get there the first day.
I think it's more of a topic of sanitary.
And he's like...
Not James, just sanitation.
And he's like, but you did this whole arc. You did this whole character. We'll call it character arc.
Character arc.
Yeah, I'm trying to relate it. Because you'll understand that. And so he starts off and he's like, I was like, did you bring your swim trunks? And he was like, no, I forgot. And so the first day.
Well, I didn't forget. I just really didn't know if I was planning on getting in a jacuzzi.
He was like,
that couples rent all the time.
He was like, I don't know about this. So the first day I'm like, okay, it's still daylight. I'm gonna throw on a bikini because it's still daylight. I don't know if other couples are gonna start arriving, and I don't want to be full on in the nude in the wilderness where people are coming in and out. That probably should have used different words for that. Anyways,
well, I don't know. They're appropriate.
So
those are literally accurate words.
So, so he's like, okay, and I'm like, oh, you're wearing boxers, and he's like, I need something. I need a physical barrier between me and...
I'm not about to sit asshole to jacuzzi that hundreds of other couples sit asshole to jacuzzi in.
He's like, I am not doing it.
All I was picturing is one of them grooves, supporting my asshole.
Right. And so, and Kelly, I'll get to your question in just a second. And so, so then, the night goes on, and I'm like, back to the jacuzzi we go. And then, at that point, it's nighttime. I realize there's no other couples. There's, 3 cabins, and this fire pit in the middle, and I realize it's just us up here. And, it's fully private, and I'm like, all right, I'm not wearing anything. And then James is like, okay. And then I get in this goofy mood. I'm totally goofy. I'm fully relaxed at this moment. It's the side of me that James really hasn't gotten to see, because I'm just completely relaxed. And I'm like, it's the full
she
moon.
usually got to worry about babysitting me.
Well, no, I'm just worried about work and COVID.
I mean, I'm being funny, but that's really the lady's job anyway, is make sure the man doesn't get into shenanigans.
So it's just all this shit that's constantly going through my head nonstop. I don't have to be responsible for anyone or anything in this moment. It's complete freedom in my head. And so I don't have to worry about other couples around and fire and them getting burned and me having to do like medical care. My brain is relaxed. I'm relaxed. Minus like the National Geographic Spider Fest that's going on. It's completely like freedom in my brain.
There's a lot of
And so
got them campfire
I'm
spiders.
like, yay, let's get back into the jacuzzi. And so I'm just like stripping off clothes, getting in the jacuzzi. And I'm like, it's a full moon. Like, oh my gosh, I've always wanted to like bask in the light of the full moon, just like recharge, like open up my chakras. I go into like this weird like mystical moment thing that I've always wanted to do, but you can't just do that. I mean, I've always lived in like the city. You can't just like strip down in the city and be like, oh, bathe in the light of the full moon. And so James comes out in his bathrobe. And he's adorable. And I'm loving the fact I'm trying to get him into robes. And he has on this white robe, and he kind of looks like Hugh Hefner in a way, like just in this little robe, and he comes walking out. And then he like sinks down, and you could tell he's just like said something about like, what'd you say, like bacteria sludge or something like that. Like, I forget your exact words, but
all I know is my naked body is approaching a vat of hot, public, rented, romantic water. And I'm probably gonna get some romance on myself.
And
so I said there was a point of no return.
And
I
I'm just
said,
like,
fuck it.
yeah, and I'm just like, plunk, who cares, whatever, chlorine, it's fine. Worst happens in like pools. I'm not even worried about it. And so, yeah, and then by like the next night, he's like, shh, whatever. Just let it be. Who cares? Like,
I'm already contaminated. I'm already exposed.
He's like, whatever. Who cares at this point? Yeah. Rented romantic water. The finest water in the house. It's a true story.
And then we, oof. All right. Well, I want
Yeah.
my own hot tub. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't like to just. I mean, even pools. I mean, are sketchy. Public
Yeah.
pools. I mean.
Yeah. So, Kelly, back to your question. I am not. I always don't know how to phrase this because I don't want to offend anybody. I am not an alcoholic. I'm not an addict. Did I phrase it right? How do I?
John is
does a little thing.
Sean is Chef Kisses.
So when I'm not around James, when I'm not with James, if I'm at,
let me let Winnie out.
okay, if I'm at my apartment with my roommate, yeah, we'll sit around and drink wine or do girl stuff or tickle. No, we'll go out to dinner and we'll have drinks. I don't have problems with alcohol. So I still will drink when I'm not around James. It's not like I drink to excess. I'll have one or two drinks and that's it. I don't get drunk. And I don't drink and then FaceTime James, or I don't get shit-faced.
All right, get to the point, you lush.
Right, and call him and like, oh, I'm hammered. Like, I don't do any childish shit like that. Like, I drink responsibly. I have like one or two drinks, and that's what it is. So.
Well, look who's special.
Right. What do you call people who
I'm
like
just kidding.
normies or something like
well,
that?
yeah, people call them normies. I just call them people.
I'm just a person.
Normie lives matter. And alky lives matter. That's why it's our job to get sober and stay sober.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, Heather doesn't. Trust me. Upon dating and making friends, even, I have a scan, a subconscious scan. If there's any alky tendencies about you, we're not gonna work, and I cut it off right then.
Yeah.
Nobody looks for an alcoholic to date anyway.
Yeah. And in our, like, even in, I'm very cognizant in my apartment. like today when James was like, hey, do you have any food or anything? I know what's in my refrigerator. And so it's like, I'll get you XYZ, like, or if he needs something to drink or whatever, because I know what's in my refrigerator. And I mean, I know that there's alcohol in my refrigerator because me and my roommate, we can buy a bottle of wine and it'll stay in there for 6 months. It turns to vinegar before we finish it. Like, but I don't, you know, and I also know that like there's other things.
That shit don't even have a chance to turn cold in my refrigerator.
And so like, and I know that isn't like, I mean, like your sister has wine in her house.
Yeah, we've talked about it on here before.
Yeah, and
unless you
so-
break out the tequila bottles or beer pong, you don't really even have enough liquor for me to start drinking. So like, I told my sister, as long as you're not drinking alcoholically, I'm not really triggered.
Right.
The only reason that beers did is because that was my scene in Virginia Beach. I used to go clam shucking and fucking, you know, beer drinking.
Right. Right.
And there'd be those tin buckets with ice and beer in them.
Yeah.
And you know what? That was a good time, and I miss those times sometimes. But to live or die, we have to remember it's not an option.
Yeah.
It's a luxury of it's like cake for the diabetic or walking for the paraplegic. It's just not a luxury for me. I had my fun. I survived, thank God. And you know what? I had a blast this weekend, just chilling, sober-wise, facing uncomfortable situations like mosquitoes and
Mosquitoes and
disagreements.
emotions.
Yeah.
Marshmallows and emotions. Marshmallows, mosquitoes, and emotions.
Marshmallows, mosquitoes, and emotions.
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe that'll be tomorrow's stream.
Marshmallows, mosquitoes, and emotions. Yeah, yeah.
So are you guys excited to see Heather's cinematography?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Sean, do you have one of these? The gimbal? This thing is cool. This thing is very cool.
Elks and asses. Right?
Elks, asses, marshmallows, and emotions, baby.
Yeah, I'm gonna start working on the edits for it tomorrow. There's actually a couple of behind the scene things.
There's a sex tape. No.
No, there's no sex tape.
For anybody who wants to see that sex tape, here's my
Fans only.
patron.
No, I'm
No.
kidding.
It's a slippery slope, Heather. Don't start.
No, I'm kidding.
So there's
it's really
the link to
Snapchat
it.
premium.
She's taking on this whole like cinematography. It's gonna be good. I mean, that shit looked good for real. 4K footage, it looked good with the gimbal. So
Yeah.
anybody who wants to see the extra footage I do, my tier 3 patrons, there's the link.
Yeah. So we're gonna that was kind of my unofficial gift for the vacation, so that we can count out to all of you as well, to James, but to all of you, so that everybody can kind
Good
of
for you, Kelly.
so that everybody can kind of be a part of our adventure while allowing us time to connect in a way that we haven't really been able to, and so that, you know, hey, if any of y'all want to have your own little adventure real estate, you can give it a go too. We're looking at going again in October, so
Right on. Well, tomorrow's Saturday, and I'll be streaming at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow.
he'll be a little more prepared. He wasn't exactly
I'm always prepared, baby. I live recovery. I can talk about
does.
recovery anytime, anywhere.
It was like, what, 7 o'clock, and I was like, oh, by the way.
Yeah, Heather's like, by the way, I scheduled your stream or whatever, and I'm just like, oh, thanks.
Thanks, dear. He was like, it's our last day of vacation. I was like, oh, well.
You're like, we're streaming tonight. I'm like,
I said,
we?
I said, you're streaming tonight. He goes, oh, we? I was
I'm like, this sober James, I am my own boss evolution just came to an abrupt halt.
So, yeah.
But I guess we'll be here tomorrow too. No, I was happy. I'm like, good. Let me just unpack and set up and organize and calibrate all the equipment.
That it was packed up. Yeah. I loved this weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
I said the L word on camera.
Oh, and you didn't gag and throw up a little in your mouth?
That one did.
Well, I guess it's gonna be awkward now when we break up in a week.
Right?
Thank you, I appreciate that. Love word ain't a big word. But you ain't getting it. You ain't getting it.
Yeah, he's wigging out.
Gotta earn that shit.
Same, mister. Same.
Well, thank you, Heather, and thank you, all of you.
So handsome.
And thank you from Winnie, and we'll see you tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with or without Heather. I'll be here.
With or without me.
So y'all keep it clean, keep it real, and keep doing the thing, right?
Keep doing the damn thing.
All right. See you tomorrow.